Hey friends, it's me, Erin, your friendly neighborhood energy alchemist, and I have an observation that I've made over the last few days, a realization maybe, that I want to share with you guys because to me it's pretty freaking incredible, so hang out. All right, so those of us in the woo world, you know humanity is evolving, and I think for those of us who have just woken up, it's easy to think that it's only happening now in our time, right? I mean, we know that things changed along the way, but because we are here, our perspective is anchored here in the now. So we think this is all really surging forward now. And it really is. There's a major, major awakening greater than ever before. That's true. But there's something more subtle that I kind of want to point out to you. And this is what it looks like. My mother is basically spiritually awake, I'd say. That didn't happen for her until she was in her 60s. I am definitely spiritually awake, and that happened for me in my 40s. I think I was like 41, 42. My daughter, who was a child when I was still in the material world and was an adult when I became spiritually awake and had basically moved out of the house, she became spiritually awake at 20 on her own. I didn't tell her, I didn't help her. She came to it on her own. And she's a sort of developing medium right now, which is amazing. I have a great niece. If you guys know me, you know how much I love this little pumpkin head. She is 7, and she is spiritually awake. She may never have been asleep, actually. She gets messages from people who have passed, and she's not scared. And I have seen this in her since she was a little tiny baby. And I tried to tell her parents, which is really interesting because her parents aren't necessarily awake. Her dad is right on the edge. He teeters, he thinks about it, he teeters. If you're watching me, you know who you are. But I've been saying this since she was little. I've been telling him this for years. And he actually messaged me the other day and he said, wow, there's something very different about her. Wow. I was kind of like, yeah, I know. So my point is that over the generations, the time of awakening, at least in my family and for several other people I know, it may not be a regular time period of every 20 years or every single generation, but there is a steady climb forward. And I have received in meditation, okay, so it's always hard for me to share downloads sometimes, so I have received in meditation that Generation Alpha is the generation that never goes to sleep. Like, they're the generation that comes forward awake through the veil, can see through the veil enough to be connected and still function as a human being. And that Generation Alpha is the one that changes things for the better. We've all laid the groundwork. We are the founding people of this. But you know, it really makes me very excited for the littles. Pay attention to them. They're more sensitive to sound. And it's not because there's something wrong with them, but it's because they're trying to tell us to turn it down so we can hear what's on the inside. They're more sensitive to flashing lights because they're telling us we don't need this to see the beauty. They want to see the natural world. They're so smart with technology because technology is a bridge between what we know and what we can know. You guys, do you see the pattern? I mean, it's amazing to me. Do you see it? Like, do you see it? I see it. Do you see it? Do you see it? Think about it. Really think about it in your family. Think about it. Really think about it. And let me know, because I genuinely want to know if you see it, because it's there, friends. It is there.